So lovely. Lovely. Yes, Sana gave that word 3 syllables. What's up, everyone? It's Nate from Truly Daebak, and we are doing DaebakCast episode 119. We're back from Korea, so if you noticed, we didn't have an episode last week, and we had a kind of weird, short, disjointed episode the week before, because we were recording in Korea and didn't really have any editing abilities or anything, so we just kind of uploaded video directly. And then when we were in Japan and stuff and getting back, we didn't really have time or a good way to record, so we skipped that week. But we're back this week without Jacob because it's hard to get Jacob to record. We left him there. Yeah, we left him in Japan. Sorry. Sorry, Jacob's mom. That's true. He stayed an extra day or two after we were there. Yeah. We're back on our normal schedule for now. If you don't know what DaebakCast is, or Truly Daebak, we do a weekly podcast where we talk about K-pop and Korean culture, or like entertainment culture. Usually there's 3 of us. Right now there's only 2 of us because our other member, Jacob, is studying abroad in Korea. But he'll be back in a couple months, back to being on more regularly. And as always, I'm Nate. As always, I'm joined by Andrew, who usually has 3 things.
Number 1, to the delight of Nathan Swishers everywhere in the world, EXID might be disbanding? Have you gotten any firm confirmation on what's going on?
Yeah, well, they're doing the whole thing that every group now does, where they're like, "Oh, we're leaving the company, but the group's still gonna be around, and we'll still do comebacks." Yeah, it will. When it happens, I'll believe it.
Oh, I mean, I heard the rumors of them not being happy with Banana Culture, the group, and possibly leaving and continuing EXID. But I mean, with them not re-signing as a group, I don't know. But the thing is, though, what's the point? I believe it was Ellie, it was Hani and Jungwoo that didn't re-sign their contracts, and Solji, Ellie, and Hyerin all signed again with Banana Culture. So the thing is, though, I don't understand why they'd re-sign with Banana Culture if they had no plans for them otherwise, unless they're just gonna all do solo stuff. So I really don't know what's going on with the group, in all honesty, and I hope they don't disband. As iffy as I've been on some of their singles, I still love EXID, so it sucked to see them disband, especially after how much success they've had so far. So I guess developing story will follow in the weeks following. Number 2, Avengers Endgame has just been destroying the freaking box office, basically. I think in the US it beat because I think it beat the highest grossing opening weekend by over 100 million, which was insane. I've already watched it twice. I think I'm gonna watch it again sometime later in the week. But so I'm definitely contributing to that grossing. We'll talk about it a bit later because that's actually part of our Korea trip. So just wanted to mention that. Going from good movies to not so good movies. Sonic the Hedgehog. Oh Lord. Wow, what a trailer. Wow. I don't even watch it. I don't even know how to begin to explain this Sonic the Hedgehog trailer. So for those of you that haven't watched, I mean, you can go watch it on YouTube, but one, Sonic looks so weird. There's something wrong with his face. It looks so bad. And for whatever reason, they decide to use the song Gangsta's Paradise as the music for.
Wait, really?
Yeah, they use They use this an arrangement of Gangsta's Paradise for this Sonic the Hedgehog. That's obviously the first thing you think of when you think Sonic the Hedgehog, freaking Gangsta's Paradise. Yes. And Jim Carrey's just being Jim Carrey, even though he's supposed to be Dr. Eggman. And for some reason, they kind of spoil at the end because his Eggman character doesn't look like what we think of when we think of Dr. Eggman or whatever. But at the end, there's this glitchy thing, and you see him with the bald head and the huge mustache and the goggles. And apparently, the rumor is that that's actually from an ending, like an after credit scene trying to set up the Sonic cinematic universe. I shit you not. That's actually, they're actually trying to make this into like a franchise type thing or whatever. So, yeah, the internet backlash was harsh to say the least, and the director was like, "Yeah, we know we fucked up, so we're gonna fix it all," which I guess is kind of like refreshing in terms of honesty. But who knows how much they'll actually be able to fix?
I doubt they can.
Because like this movie's definitely. I'm pretty sure it's getting released this year, so we'll see how much they can fix. But wow, it's just been a wild roller coaster. Basically, like just like the poor Sonic fandom has just been suffering, and then they just kicked them while they were down. So we'll see if they can recover it by any means. So those are three things. Just I guess some programming notes. Well, now we're getting back in the swing of things. Produce X101 is now airing, so in a few weeks, once that first round of eliminations is done, I think we're gonna get to do our first full-on episode of or the first episode covering Produce X101. I haven't had a chance to watch any of it yet. I think episode 0 has subs out. Episode 1 kind of has bad subs out, so I'll wait for that to finish. But yeah, be on the lookout for that soon. Also, some people I think it was Reach 10 on our Discord was like, "Oh wow!" I was just like, he was looking for us on SoundCloud, but didn't realize that we had left. Yeah, that for anyone that's using it. Yeah, for anyone that's catching us on YouTube or whatever, or is normally an audio listener, we are off SoundCloud entirely. We've made the switch to a different hosting service, which is why you can only find us on iTunes and Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, those sort of things. So yeah, we're completely off SoundCloud for the time being. So yeah, just make your switch now if you haven't already.
Okay. I think that's it. Like usual, if you like the episode, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, review us on iTunes and stuff. And then of course, if you want to hang out with us, talk to us, hang out with our community, could join our Discord. It's mucho lit, as we like to say. There's a good community of people there that are talking regularly, so more people are always welcome. And we do fun stuff like song ratings, and I'm gonna ban the whole server soon, so that'll be fun.
For the IOI rating.
Yeah, it's due next week, so get in and do the IOI rating so I can ban you. So yeah, we'll move on to topic 1, which is our one review this week, and it is Twice's Fancy You mini album. We're a little late on this review because, like I said, we didn't do any episodes or anything.
We were in Korea when this thing dropped.
Yeah, we were in Korea when it came out, so we got to buy it on release day.
That was
add to the.
That was kind of a weird experience, like because. I forget when we got home from or whatever. I think we got home from like walking around like Hongdae or something like that. And then I took a nap. I wake up and you're like, "Oh, Twice is out." I'm just like, "Wow, this is weird." Like having music videos come out at like in the evening, because I'm so used to waking up in the morning and then just checking up like whatever music videos, because it usually just drops at that time. So like that was a pretty interesting experience. Just to mention, but anyway.
Yeah. We'll start off with the first song on the album, which is the single titled Fancy. And so with the teasers and stuff coming into this, like they talked about how like Twice was finally changing up their concept and stuff, which they've told us before and lied.
Yeah.
So
I at this point
weren't sure.
Yeah, at this point I'm just like, it's just Boy Who Cried Wolf. They're like, they're gonna completely change the Twice concept. I'm like, yeah, that's what you said before.
Yeah. And I think for this song they definitely did a bit. 100% in concept they changed it up, and then I would say like partially in the music. I think the verses are very different, but the chorus still has that like Twice like signature sound. It's still the upbeat like Twice chorus that you kind of expect, just with a little differences, but the verses are like very different than what we're used to. I think the instrumentals in the song are really good. I really like that synth melody line in the verses. It's like really catchy, and it's like kind of a unique synth that we don't really hear a lot. And then yeah, like I said, the chorus is still very Twice. It picks up and has that upbeat style that you'd expect. But overall, I think the song's great. I know a lot of people haven't been liking stuff that they've been doing recently for singles. I've never, like, I still like Twice. Like, even before this song, like, I never really had a problem with the stuff they were doing. I enjoy most of what they do, including their B-sides, which I know a lot of people also don't like. But I think this was really cool to see. It's definitely nice to hear a switch up, and them doing it really well. As for the music video, I love the aesthetic. It's very similar to the Boots, which is our music video of the year.
I knew you were going to say that. I knew you were going to say that. Truly
Daebak's 2018 music video of the year. Goo Goo Dolls the Boots. But yeah, those are very similar with like the use of color and like that weird like neon cyberpunk aesthetic with like the black outfits. But then they have like a nice switch up with like the really colorful, almost like 70s hippie style like outfits. So it's a nice change up. And I thought the choreography is really fun. It's memorable. It's not like super technical, but it has some really like memorable parts, and it fits Twice well, and it fits the song well.
So as someone that's been sort of burned or just been like scorned by Twice singles over the years at this point, and I've just been like every single time I'm just like I'm getting my hopes up, or I'm just like, this will be the single where they truly change it up. This will be the single that they'll do again, that's sort of been my talking point for the past year or so, is I'm waiting for Twice's Run Devil Run moment, essentially, and I think this is probably the closest we're gonna get to a Twice Run Devil Run moment, at least for the time being. So, I guess just to start off in terms of my thoughts, this is produced by Black Eyed Peas Song, aka the person that's worked on almost every single one of their like major singles, like Ooh Ah, TT, Likey, Cheer Up. So at this point, like right now, it's impossible. Yeah, pretty close to impossible for anyone to beat Black Eyed Peas Song for Producer of the Year. At least I think that, because this year they did Ung Ung by A-Pink, they did Gotta Go by Chang'e, and then they produced Fancy by Twice. Like, those are probably three of my favorite songs of the entire year so far. So for them to just pull, like, the sheer quality of songs that they've been putting out this year is insane. And we're only less than halfway through the year, and they put out that much good songs already. It's insane. I think the funniest thing specifically is Black Eyed Peas Song was they were kind of the geniuses behind what we call like the Twice sound. Again, like I mentioned before, they're sort of the brains behind their most iconic songs, like Ooh Ah, Cheer Up, Likey, TT, those sort of things. And yet they're also the ones that are pushing forward what Twice's sound is, or what consists, or what the group's sort of image is in sort of a way. Because I mean, between Fancy and Likey, again, they're just they're always the ones pushing it forward. Again, I just find it ironic that sort of whenever they go to whenever JYP goes to other producers, they always fall back into whatever Black Eyed Peas Song sort of made to make Twice famous. But again, Black Eyed Peas Song is always the one pushing the envelope. And I really, again, as someone that hates stagnation, or as someone that really appreciates when groups push forward their sound, I think that's why I'm a big fan of what Black Eyed Peas Song has been doing with Twice. So in terms of the song, like, the instrumental is dangerously catchy. I have not been able to stop listening to this for the past 2 weeks. Like, pretty much when I was like falling asleep on the plane, I just put like this song on repeat over and over and over and over and over and over again, and I still haven't gotten sick of it, which says something, specifically particularly because I usually get sick of Twice songs like pretty fast, like even the ones I like. And yeah, it's very rare for me to do that with songs. Again, like, despite like Black Eyed Peas Songs, like, sort of thing is they make catchy music, or they make catchy hooks, but again, this isn't something that I feel would get old or get tiring on me. I'd say some of the good positives that they did with this song, or in terms of how they worked around the members, is, well, one, I'm liking this trend of Jonghyun getting way more lines than before. Like she has like entire sections of the verse in this song. Yeah. Whereas she'd barely get any lines. Like she'd maybe get like one or two in previous Twice singles, so that's a good thing. I'd say probably the only minor gripe I have with this song is, and I hate, as much as I hate to say it because I love Sana, but like the part with the pre-chorus where it's like do 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 ice cream truck do do do, like that just seems a bit too cliche of Twice for me. But I mean, it's just that one part basically. For me it sounds almost like J-poppy. Like it just doesn't really fit. Like I could hear that in a J-pop song, like that part. It's like and it just doesn't fit with the rest of the song. Yeah, compared to how the rest of the song sounds, it definitely like it kind of sticks out like a sore thumb in that way. But I mean, that's just kind of a minor gripe at the end of the day, because I feel like it doesn't ruin the song for me entirely. Nate, where'd you go? Oh, okay. I thought I lost you for a second. Anyway, the chorus is probably one of the best choruses I've heard all year. In all honesty, again, it's that perfect blend of catchy, perfect blend of, it's definitely something I've never heard from before, especially from a group like Twice. That blend of catchy and unique is it's like the holy grail that I'm looking for in K-pop, and it's something I rarely get. So, which is probably why I enjoy it a lot. And again, even how they sort of utilize the things that can fall so easily into tropes, like your typical Dubu Chaeyoung rap verse doesn't sound like they could have. Sometimes it just sounds so copy paste between songs, like what they do with them. But here they're actually letting them do vocal parts. They're actually doing something a lot more interesting. I know, like, it's kind of become a trope that, like Twice singles have some like random like trap instrumentals at some point, but this one I think it's okay. It works with the song. Kind of like how like Gotta Go has some trap instrumentals in it. So man, just I don't even know where to continue with this song in terms of just like the music. I just really loved it. Like in terms of visuals, like this might be Twice's best concept, like, to date. Like, I think it blows everything else that they've done out of the water. Because I feel like I've always liked their outfits and, like, their concepts for the most part. But so often, like, the visual concept doesn't really match with, like, the music that they'd put out. That's what my biggest gripe was. And now that they're doing more of a mature sound, I feel like it's finally, like, the visual concept and the songs are finally matching each other, and I think that's what makes it stand out a lot more, because you finally get that cohesion that I've been waiting for years, essentially. Because I mean, their outfits aren't anything too different than what they've done before. It's just, again, finally matching that concept is what brings it out more. Like specifically for me, I think like people like Mina, Momo, Jonghyun, and Chaeyoung stood out with their outfits. Friggin' Mina's sort of dressed with like the sort of like strings that are holding it together. Jonghyun sort of like that one like neon yellow shirt that she has that has like basically looks like friggin' like Randy Savage wings or whatever, just like some really like elaborate type of thing. Chaeyoung has this one outfit where it's like got a halter top and like bell bottom pants, but it's got this like neon like gingham pattern on it. Momo's outfit is incredible. Just I really, again, I'm finally glad that they're able to sort of build that cohesion into it. So I really appreciate that a lot more. And then as for the choreography, again, I know Twice isn't obviously like the best in terms of dancing groups outside of, or in terms of dances among girl groups outside of like Momo, but all I really want from Twice singles is the choreography serves a purpose, and I think they accomplished that with this. It fits the song, and it's nothing just like too basic, which I feel like has been a sort of detriment to a lot of the choreography before. It's just where sometimes they don't do anything. Where in this one, they're definitely active. It's definitely upbeat and fits the type of song that they're doing. And specifically, the choreography they do is memorable. Like the fancy, like where they do that part like that. That's definitely memorable. Or there's one part where they do like a move from like I Am the Best, like this. I don't know if you remember the choreography from I Am the Best, but there's a move that they take for exactly from it. So I do, as a fan of that song, I do appreciate that. It's not the most it's not the craziest Twice choreography, but I feel like, again, it fits the song perfectly, so I feel like that's why it's been some of the most effective choreography that they've done in a while. Yeah, so just seriously, this is probably a top 3 Twice song for me, in all honesty. I'm rating it that high just because I feel like maybe going in I didn't have any expectations just because I've been burned so much by Twice, but this blew away all of my expectations. And yeah, now the single that follows is up is definitely going to have, it's going to be a tough act to follow, in all honesty, just because I don't know if they're going to be able to recapture like, I guess the feeling or just like the time and place that this was in, but it's definitely gotten me a lot more reinvigorated in Twice than I was for the past year.
Yeah. Jacob said, just a sec. Right from the get-go, I love this track. This is the kind of incremental progression that I want to hear and see with Twice's music and concepts respectively. While yes, it does indeed still sound like Twice, I think that the song treads just enough new territory to keep older fans pleased and also bring in people from outside looking for fresher offerings from Twice. The chorus is infectious, punchy, and so catchy it'll be stuck in your head for days. The music video is exactly the type of thing I wanted to see Twice cover, and they showed, just as everyone suspected, that they could totally pull off a more mature and cool concept without having to be sexy. I think this track and concept were totally a step in the right direction, so here's to hoping we keep pushing forward. Yep. Next we have Stuck in My Head. I thought this song starts out very intensely, and drops into like a pretty awesome hardcore beat. I did have an issue with the like weird distorted sax sounds they use for the instrumentals. It's just like, it just doesn't sound pleasing, if that makes sense. Like it just sounds like weird and off. And they use that a lot. It basically
sounds like somebody's fucking around on like their keyboard. It's like, what sound effects should we use for this song?
Like it just doesn't sound great. But overall, I think the build of the chorus like tones the song down in a really good way, and the chorus is good, and the fact that they bring in like more instrumentals and stuff like kind of make that sax part less of a problem because there's just more going on. I do think the chorus repeats a little too much though. I don't know. I think overall this is like one of the weaker songs on the album.
Yeah.
I just had a couple issues with it. Like, it's not a horrible song, but it's definitely one of the weaker ones.
I mean, I know what they're going for because the song is literally called Stuck in My Head, but I feel like you could do a bit more of an interesting approach lyrically than just repeating "stuck in my head." Like stuck in. After a certain point, it's just gonna get annoying.
Yep.
Yeah, that'd probably be like I'd say that'd probably be like my only gripe with the song is just like I guess the quality drop off between Fancy and then this was kind of abrupt in my eyes, but it wasn't too horrible. Or that'd probably be the only gripe is just the lack of, I guess, just interesting lyrical approach.
Yep. Jacob said, a really solid B-side from Twice. Spoiler alert, the sentiment carries through most of the mini-album. The chorus is really repetitive, but it doesn't go overboard and treads the line decently to stay on the side of catchy and not annoying. I really like the way the instrumental clears up in the build-up to the chorus. The overall style reminds me maybe of Red Velvet's The Red Album with tracks like Huff and Puff. Also, shout out to Chaeyoung's rap in the song. I enjoyed it, though I could see if some people maybe think her tone is annoying. I like it nonetheless.
Yeah, it was kind of annoying.
I didn't mind it. I do agree that I think the build up to in the pre-chorus, or like the way the instrumentals clear out in the pre-chorus, is probably the best part of the song in my opinion. Probably because I thought the instrumentals were a little annoying, but okay. We'll move on to Girls Like Us. And I love the bouncing piano like through this whole song. And the like echoey and dreamy vocals they use throughout. I think it mixes really well with the more minimalist instrumentals. I think the chorus is a little busy, but I think, like, especially compared to how minimalist the rest of the song is, it kind of goes a little overboard, in my opinion. But I think the rest of the song is fantastic and makes up for it. It's got almost like an indie pop vibe, which is like something you don't really hear in K-pop very often. So I liked this song.
that indie pop vibe is courtesy of the producer, Charlie XCX. Not even joking. Charlie XCX is the one that produced this song, which the second I heard that, this song immediately clicked for me. Both because one, like, Charlie definitely has a specific sound that she's going after in her music, definitely that indie pop type of, like, EDM type of thing. And I feel like that's an awesome collaboration for one, and I feel like they work. Like, Twice definitely has a similar type of vibe, or they fit well with that production style. So I think that this would make this song stand out a lot more. Jihyo also contributed to the writing the lyrics, so that's actually pretty cool. I think for the rest of these songs, at least one member contributed to the songwriting. So yeah, this would probably be my favorite of the album tracks, in all honesty, just because I feel like again, that collaboration aspect, and I feel like it succeeded in, like, the type of sound that they're going after. And I feel, I'm usually one that's bored by Twice B-sides, and, like, that's kind of the case here in some with some of them. But I feel like if they could dip their toes into, like, more of these type of indie pop type sounds, I feel like I would find them more interesting than what they usually do.
Jacob said, the song really stood out to me because it isn't a style of song you'd usually find in K-pop. It sounds a lot like the type of songs you find in alternative or indie pop charts in the US. The small beat breakdown before the chorus as well as the chorus are really catchy and is definitely prone to be stuck in your head, as is the common theme with many Twice songs. In this song, in contrast to the last track, Dahyun's rap really stood out to me rather than Chaeyoung's. Overall, really love this track. Next we have Hot. And I love the funk pop style used for the song. I love when we hear, like, a cappella instrumental parts in K-pop, and it's got that, like, a cappella bass line going throughout the song. I really like how fast and catchy the vocal parts are in the song, like during the chorus. Then it, like, slows down for the pre-chorus bridge. It's just, like, the lyrics are, like, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's just, like, technically, like, faster, and it's not like rapping, but it's got that kind of, like, feel to it, because it's their spoken, or, like, their singing lines are, like, very fast. I think the pre-chorus is really fun, like, catchy instrumental focus. And I love the added use. Actually, I think I meant chorus. The chorus is, like, really fun. I like the added use of trumpet and, like, other new sounds throughout. Definitely one of my favorites.
This is basically the first thing I said when I listened to the song. I was like, wow, Twice just basically did their own version of Uptown Funk. So I was kind of laughing at that.
Yeah, basically.
I did enjoy this song, but, like, it was kind of made redundant by the one that came after it in terms of that, like, funky.
I think the next one's better.
Yeah, it just kind of, it definitely sort of didn't do as well in terms of, like, that funky, like, bassline driven sound. So yeah, I didn't have much to say about this just because I ended up liking the next one better.
Jacob said, the beat drop during the chorus in the song is catchy as fuck. The punchy deep bass throughout the song keeps it nice and bouncy until the instrumentals clean up for the build up to eventually slam down into the chorus drop. The song is super fun and is definitely among some of Twice's best B-sides, which is definitely a general theme on this album for me. I also appreciated the use of ad-libs throughout the song, as it's not something that Twice is typically known for traditionally.
Oh, and Momo wrote the lyrics for Hot.
Okay. Next we have Turn It Up. Like you said, this is another or, like, funky song. I thought it had a nice fake out at the beginning, making you think it's like an acoustic pop ballad, and then it drops with, like, a really funky bass line. I think the instrumentals in the song are probably the best on the album, with, like, the bass line, the guitar, and there's some brass popping in here and there. It's just a super upbeat, like, fun, funky song. And I thought the rap part in the song was amazing too. This is definitely my favorite on the album.
Yeah, I guess I mentioned before, this one's kind of made Hot redundant, so I didn't end up enjoying that previous song as much as I enjoyed this. This was produced by Ear Attack, who I've heard the name before a lot. Sana did the lyrics for this song, so yeah, again, I just really liked. Also, just like the chorus or drop or whatever, I felt like was a lot more interesting than what they did on Hot. So, yeah, the two songs kind of made one another redundant. Or Turn It Up definitely made Hot redundant. Also, again, like I was mentioning before, like the fact that Junghyun's getting way more lyrics in the song as of late. Like she has an entire section of the chorus in this song, which is again awesome to see. Also, again, I feel like in terms of like the rap verses, I feel like they do it a lot better on this one than they do on Hot. So yeah. Just because again, like they do get pretty formulaic with how they used Daebak and Chaeyoung in terms of like the rap verses, but I feel like this one they definitely tried to make it a bit more interesting. So
yeah. Jacob said, another really fun song. The bass line is awesome. It gives the track a really nice bouncy feel you could easily dance to. The chorus is definitely effective as well, and once again the rap line really turns out well. Next we have the final song in the album, Strawberry. I think this is another song this has a bit of like an indie acoustic pop vibe. I really like the chop like synths used for the instrumentals. And I like that since we don't really get a ballad, the vocals get a showcase for the song. And during the bridge, all the instrumentals cut out, and it's just the vocals and like a tiny bit of guitar, because I think Twice gets a bad rap for their vocals when they don't have bad vocals. I think they just don't have
enough.
Most of their songs, huh?
They don't have enough vocalists.
What were you saying? No, I think the majority of the members have good vocals. It's just their songs they are given don't give them the chance to showcase it, where this song does. So, yeah, I enjoyed this.
This one was all right. Like again, it's kind of a like more laid back song than which we got in Girls Like Us or Hot or Turn It Up. I'd place it in like it's above Stuck in My Head, but a bit below those other songs in terms of how much I enjoyed it. But yeah, I do like that vocal focus. I don't think a ballad would have worked on this album. In all honesty, it just would have been, or it would have stuck out like a sore thumb in comparison to like the concept, and two, the other songs that they did on here. So yeah, this wasn't too bad of an ending.
Yeah. Jacob said, probably the weakest song for me, but that's just a testament to how good the mini album is in general, because I actually really enjoy this track as well. The closest artist I can compare the song to would be something like Lim Kim.
I don't see it.
I don't know Lim
Jacob
Kim's
just wants to. Jacob just wants
so.
to name drop Lim Kim because we miss Lim Kim so much.
Okay. So yeah, let's go to our scores now. You have Cooper's, right? Or
yes.
Do I need to read Cooper's too?
No, I have Cooper's as well.
Okay. For me, I gave it a 6 out of 7 for music. I thought most of the songs were fantastic. Really, it was just stuck in my head that was a little off, that I didn't really enjoy too much. So I just knocked them off 1 point. And then I gave them a full 3 out of 3 for concept, because I thought the concept was fantastic. The music video was great. The choreography was fun. Styling was fantastic. So I gave it a 9 out of 10.
I gave the same score actually. 3.5 for the single, 2.5 for the album tracks. Again, I feel like this is a top 3 Twice single. I would have liked the album tracks a bit more, but I guess it's fine for what they've put out. Yeah, again, most of the 3 out of 3 for concept, especially just because I feel like this is what I've been waiting for in terms of Twice and their maturation, and there's just like the evolution of their sound and who they are as a group. And I feel like this is we're finally getting evidence of that, which again I've just been railing on for years. Also, this album looks really cool because again JYP's just been on this whole sort of like, it looks like a regular magazine type thing in terms of their
all
packaging.
Their recent albums.
Yeah,
all of Stray Kids albums.
Yeah, all of Stray Kids. Yeah, basically. So we picked these up in Korea. I wanted this one just because I like the reflective type of thing. But again, just I love the visual sort of style that they're going with this. So yeah, I feel this has me a lot more optimistic about Twice in terms of their musical direction than I was going in. Again, as for whether or not they can recapture this feel or catch lightning in a bottle again, I don't know, but I am a lot more optimistic. I'm a lot more hyped for when I see Twice, assuming I can get the tickets next week, because the tickets for the
Friday.
US tour, go on sale next Friday. So cross my fingers I can see that. Twice is definitely back on my radar. After they were kind of falling off for a bit. So 9 out of 10.
Yep. And Jacob gave them a 6 out of 7 for music, and just a 2.5 out of 3 for concept, so an 8.5 out of 10.
Cooper, he wrote a summary, said, this is easily Twice's best mini album yet. I like every song here, particularly Fancy, Hot, and Strawberry. Fancy is one of their best title tracks. Other than Sana's terrible part, this is pretty much perfect. Yeah, so Cooper has a problem with the same section that we did. All the album tracks are catchy and have a better production than normal. The MV has really cool visual effects, and I like the black set used for the choreography scenes. The dance is pretty solid, better than the previous ones for sure. This is the sound I hope Twice sticks with going forward, still have that classic sound of theirs, but a bit more evolved and more mature. He gives a 6 out of 7 for music, a 2.5 out of 3 for concept, for a total of 8.5 out of 10. So, putting all the numbers into the calculator and doing the math, that's two 8.5s, 2 9s. Yep. That's an average of a 9. It is a truly Daebak album. I never thought I'd give this high of a score to a Twice album again, in all honesty. I just did, because I think the last score I gave was like a friggin' like 7 or 6 after some point, just because I was just done with Twice. But yeah. They pulled it out of the rabbit's hat somehow. So I'm really hyped for this, for them, and it's been doing well. They're definitely getting their wins, despite like BTS sort of coming back at around the same time. So yeah, I think this is a really good direction for them.
Yeah, I agree.
So let us know what your thoughts are on Fancy You. Do you like this new direction that Twice is going in? Do you like the new sort of mature style? Did you like Fancy? Did you like any of the album tracks? Definitely let us know in the comments below.
Discovered it like sometime after the Korean War.
They discovered it in the 70s.
Yeah, the 70s. So that's like almost 20
years after the war.
Well, one of them was in the 90s.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like they keep just like they think there might be even more of them through there, but basically North Korea basically dug these tunnels under like 70 meters